Yo, welcome. Episode, what the fuck episode is it? 74 of Hip Hop High Society presents the Roundtable Hip Hop discussion, tackling all things hip hop and hip hop related with my esteemed co-hosts, panelists, family members here. First and foremost, we got the one and only, fresh off his hiatus from howling from the Federales. We can see him this week. What's going on with you, J Cloud? Classic bucket hat. You feel me? What's going on with you, brother?
What's going on, y'all?
Good to see you in good health, bro. Obi with the fresh backdrop 2 weeks in a row is holding up nicely. What's going on with you, brother?
So far, so good for this cheap backdrop, to be honest. Although I'm already starting to see some wear in it. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see how long that lasts. But no, I'm doing good, man. Feel a little all over the place, so I'm gonna try to hold it down.
All right, and then we have the one and only, the man of mystery, Hotep. What's going on, Hotep? I know you got the fresh hairdo, man. You need to come out from behind the fucking scenes, bro. Show everybody your nice new fucking locks. What's going on with you, though, bro? You good?
Oh, I'm grand. You know, I'm out here chilling. Blessings coming my way. Loving hip hop every day. All that.
It's good to see everybody here, man, and everybody on time and shit like that. Y'all prompt and shit. I like this shit.
Yeah, no, I would hop on camera today, but I'm in the bath right now. I'm on my rev run right now.
Oh yeah, you stay off the camera then, sir. Nobody wants to fucking see that shit. This ain't Cinemax. Stay.
Oh no, I'm on my rev run right now, man.
Oh, okay.
It's tight. Hell yeah. Runs house, man.
All right. So first topic we got at hand. Unless you've been living under a rock. We got the one and only Max B back home. Ow. The wavy guy came home to a grand reception. A lot of excitement going on behind his return. Let's check it out. French picked him up.
Brothers is back together.
Long, brother. Time out on the play.
Good. Let's go get that sandwich now.
That's why I say get a sandwich, bro. So there you have it. Max B home. He's greeted. A lot of people was kind of talking shit because I think Male Matrix came home not too long ago, and he had to ride the train a little bit or something like that. You know, granted it was a different situation, but they was firing shots about that. But what do y'all think about the reception so far you seen from Max B?
Glad to see it. I'm not I won't pretend like I'm the biggest fan, but I'm definitely glad to see him home after all these years. And he had a great first day back, it looked like, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, he was all over the place. I think he went straight to the Eagles game or something like that, a Jets game or something like that. I don't even think he went home. You feel me? Normally you get out, you do what you got to do at the house with the old lady for a couple days, and you emerge. But nah, he went straight to the game. He went straight on the press run. You feel me? So what do y'all think about the expectations? How soon you think we may get some music out of all this?
Very soon.
Very soon, because his manager is fucking Karen Civil. And
they've been working on this.
He's gonna crack the whip.
Yeah, here we go right here. Max B plans to get in the studio with Cash Cobain. After 16 years, legendary Harlem rapper Max B was released from prison on Sunday, November 9th. You're going to see my style on these new beats. It's like an excitement there that dudes grew up off my shit and they get a chance to work with their big homie. It's going to be lovely. I can't wait. So 16 years, of course. Now he's 47 years old, I believe. Although we've seen a kind of resurgent year in hip hop for older rappers and stuff like that, do y'all think age could play a factor once the music drops? You know what I'm saying? Do we think the youth may actually take the shit in, or what do y'all think?
I'm gonna say yeah, solely because of the antics he on when he got out. He's still doing very youthful rapper-ish things. So he's appealing to the youth. A lot of the youth will get to him through like Wiz Khalifa, artists like that, Currency. He's going to get the Alchemist stimulus package. So he's going to be in the youth's face a lot. For those of the they don't know who he is, but they keep seeing his name. They're going to go look for his music. if they've not done it already. So no, he's going to be he's saturated right now.
They can be fickle, though. I will say that. I think it may be initial buzz. You feel me? With like a lot of people when they come home, but I'm not sure will that last through the music or not. I'm honestly seeing a lot of people who's born after 1998, 1999 having very harsh opinions on things. I don't think if you were of club age around 09 or 08, it may be different for you, right? So I guess that's it too. Do y'all think his music actually hold up? Will it actually sound modern, or will we get some of that, does the wavy shit you think hold up? You feel me? In today's era.
I don't know, but I definitely think the music that he's about to put out is what's going to matter most. I'm not sure if a lot of people are going to go back and revisit that don't know him, but if the new music's good, they will. And if it's not, right, then we'll see how much further he gets pushed after that.
Gotcha.
Him and Cash Cobain should be dope because I'm a big Cash fan as far as the beats. So
I'll say this. I'm gonna throw this out there. We know when he went in, like I said, 2010, maybe 2011, somewhere in that area. The music industry was far different as far as the monetary part of it, right? Streaming wasn't really a fucking thing. People still burn. I was still burning fucking CDs. I was burning fucking CDs when he went in, bro. This is how long ago this was. A lot of cars don't come with CD players no more, dog. So the landscape is very different as far as the money. Kind of knowing Max basically went in prison twice for robbery. This is the man's about his money, right? Do y'all think once he sees the difference between then and now, that may change something as far as his motivation to music? Do y'all think he generally is in the game for the love of the music?
No, I'll tell you why, because we were so he went in like 2009, and I ended up like dealing with like who was his manager around like 2011. And they ran this dude ran like a label called Amalgam Digital, and they were kind of like operating in like the middle space of like physical media. It was like going out of style and all that shit, but they weren't like quite streaming yet. But he's like in a very like interesting place where that was his last experience, where it was like he knew that shit was going out the window, and they were like very like they had like players on the website and all that shit. So he's kind of like in that space where he already knew what everything was going to become. Probably not to this extreme of like streaming services and shit, but yeah, that's the direction that he left on. So I don't think it's going to be a big shocker to him. I think like platforms I think he's going to like fuck with like what's it called, Even and shit like that, where it's like, you sell your mixtape or your album for like 10 bucks flat or shit like that. I think he's going to operate like very good in that like direct to consumer space. Yeah,
I already saw a video today of him posting up selling some shirts. So they're getting the ball rolling.
Bro, his merch game was on point, like even when he was in jail. Like because he gave them like rights to his likeness and shit like that. So they were like pushing merch and they were putting that shit on his books.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pull up. I actually just seen this right before we came on, which this kind of sums up my thoughts. Somebody said that was kind of my clubbing days right there when Max B was kind of popping. So I think this is kind of my thoughts as far as what we're seeing, where people are kind of more so remarking on his ability. You feel me? Like, not saying he was a bad rapper, nothing like that, but I'm just seeing some wild takes on both directions. So I think opinion of a rapper kind of, kind of touches base a little bit more. So let me play this.
Trying to think of an example of like the best niggas with the best lyricists in the world talking about, God damn, this nigga rhymed this with that, and then rhymed that, and then brought it back on a double entendre, and then compound the word. You be as a lyricist, you just like this, like, God damn. Then you got a nigga like Max B and come through like, what up, baby? Did you see this here, man? I look good, I smell good, I taste good. Yeah, baby. You attracted. Yo, this nigga selling it right here. You got this nigga spitting all these bars, rapping his heart out, and this nigga Diddy Bop with the waves and the talk, and he say, nigga, fabuloso, baby. It's bigaloso. Pause. You know what I'm saying? You more attracted to that in the audience because he's selling that, and you got to understand that. And that's just an example when you're saying, nigga, we're selling things here. This isn't personal. We're trying to sell what you bring to the table. And Max B, I'm just using him as an example because he's one of the best talkers off of music ever, and that counts these days. Like, you know, it was a time where you didn't really know people's personality because you didn't have social media, or they didn't have access to media until somebody wanted to interview them. You got to think about this. When you came out, you had to wait for the vibe or the source of somebody to do an interview with you, and that's not even video. You got to read what a nigga wrote about what you said.
All right, what do y'all think about Cam's take, yo?
Yeah, it seemed pretty spot on overall, to be honest.
Yeah. I feel as like he's almost like the precursor. Max B is like the precursor to maybe lifestyle rappers. I was talking a little bit about Cloud about that before we went on and shit. But I think a point in there that may went over people's head is how he was speaking about how Max B was the first, like, one of the best talkers. You feel me? This man had stories. This man was funny, right? If you look at, yeah, exactly. But now, if you look at a lot of the people today that was in his kind of, you know, age range, that was in his class per se, right? You talking about Cameron sitting there on the podcast, right? Jim Jones and Dave East sitting around a room talking on the podcast with Mano, right? You got Joe Budden, right? You know, you got fucking Jadakiss and Fat Joe. You got Math Hoffa. I think they said Mad Hoffa making one like 50 a month, and he ain't even that fucking great. Like, you know what I'm saying? So to me, I think once the dust settles and everything else, I think his lane, particularly once he hit 48 fucking years old, this man ain't gonna want to be fucking touring, going owl and wavy across fucking stages across the at 50 years old. I think it's a perfect lane for him in that space of podcasting, bro, or even streaming or whatever, right? I think it's a perfect lane for him, and we've seen what's the trend been people his age. So what do y'all think about where I went with that? Do y'all see that per se, or do y'all think he would stick with the music?
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see him going in that lane. Earlier today on a separate thing, I saw that he already has a show booked for January. So he's pushing the music. He's going to try it for sure. But I think personality could be the way to go.
I agree. Anybody else?
Pretty much the same thing. Like, I don't know exactly what what route he's gonna go, or if he's gonna go the podcast route. Because if he goes the podcast route, he's gonna need somebody that kind of like rivals his energy,
like co-host type shit.
Yeah, because you know, like Cameron and Mace and that type of dynamic. And I don't really I can't think off the top. Please, if he does do that, I hope it's not fucking French Montana, but someone that like matched that dynamic. But I think he would be good in like media.
Yeah. Look at the.
I feel like Max B's brand is bigger than his rap career. So because of that, he gonna survive regardless.
Yeah.
Like his branding has kept him relevant thus far. While he's been incarcerated for 15, 16 years.
I could see him doing something with Wiz.
Absolutely.
Like I
I
just
see that within the next month or two.
like no, I mean like a full thing, like how I was talking about like a podcast earlier. I could see like because I feel like Wiz is gonna eventually like go that route, and I feel like the perfect person, if he was to do something like that, then perfect person would be with Max.
Shout out to Dre out there, man. The age part not a big factor. Killer Mike 50 just won a Grammy. Clips up for a Grammy, and Malice is 52. Conway, Westside Gunn, Benny, Ransom, and Spready Gibbs, all in their 40s. I think that's a much different lane, though, bro. We comparing Max B to Killer Mike. Are we really doing that, Dre, bro? I think that's a very different lane, dog.
I mean, Killer Mike makes like a lot of like almost like leaning towards like modern shit. Like he makes a lot of that type of shit. So he has Run the Jewels is full of fucking poop and fart jokes. Like, bro, it's like, you know, like I would think less so that he would be, you know, successful right now. I mean, Killer Mike's a legend, but I could see it. I could see I don't think it would be a problem for him. I just think it's a matter of like, is he going to stay on the same subject matter and the same type of like approach as he was in 2008? If he hasn't grown from that, which I'm sure he has to a degree, if he hasn't grown from that, then I could see that being a problem.
Max Singers, I don't think so at all.
No,
I don't think so at all. I don't even think it's close.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's close, bro. To keep it real with you, like there's somebody, like I said, I was around during the MySpace, and sure he was too, but that don't sound shit alike, bro. That's that gritty Buffalo shit. You know, Max B was on some Pretty Boy Owl wavy shit. You feel me? That was completely different lanes.
They're way more Wu-Tang adjacent.
Yeah, definitely that gritty shit, bro. And man, I just was recently listening to the freestyle they had when they went. What was that? That one where Westside didn't really rap, but Conway and Benny was killing it, bro. Honestly, bro, no offense to Max B whatsoever. He can't do that shit that they did in that fucking booth, dog. You know the classic freestyle I'm talking about, man. Like Max ain't on that wave, man. He just ain't on. He not on the Clips wave, man. It's a whole different lane to me. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, Conway's one of the best out of New York, like in a long time. So that's big. That's big. That's a big gap.
That's a big gap. Any last thoughts on Max B's joint? I'm trying to think, like, as far as like, do we see like what collabs you may think he may get? Because we do still have that Jim Jones shit lingering, right? Like we still do have a lot of people who may not fuck with him. Like he got the wave right now, right? He got New York kind of buzzing. New York ain't had a win in a while, right? The Giants suck. The fucking Jets suck. You feel me? The Knicks got knocked out in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? So I think New York is kind of thirsty for that win, that dub. You feel me? But so that's what I think a lot of the hype is. But do we see like, could it be some level of blackball y'all think going on? Do y'all think Jim has that, or people rock with Jim Jones enough to see something like that?
Yeah, but I don't think that would be blackballing. Like I just think a lot of people. I know people don't like Jim right now, like because of the shit he said about Nas and all that shit. But I mean, Jim has a lot of like good relationships with a lot of people. Like he was working at a label at one point. So it's like, yeah, he's just a very like personable guy and just cool with a lot of people. And that's gonna be a factor as far as like people not wanting to like kill that relationship or fuck up that relationship. Not necessarily because he told them. I don't see him as the type to tell somebody to not fuck with Max. But then you know how the shit is. They won't fuck with him just off the strength of them knowing the situation.
Well, yeah, we already seen Mano say he rocking with his man. You feel me? So you know,
I'm not even taking a picture with him. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going nowhere near him.
Word, and that's gonna be hard to avoid because you know them parties gonna be popping. You feel me?
Yeah,
so.
I think it's just I don't think it's people like gonna because it's like they were in the same place, but he's just like on some like it's no bad blood, but I just I gotta be that's my guy. So I don't think I don't think he's gonna have like issues and shit, but people are just gonna look at him and then go about their business. A lot of people are gonna do that.
I don't know, man. Max doesn't strike me. I mean, he was a bit confrontational going in. I mean, he hasn't said anything yet, but just kind of the personality. You know what I mean? That bigger Veil personality. I don't think we seen Bigger Veil come out yet, yo. That might be.
But I mean, he wants to squash it with Jim. He talked about that. He talked about that like a couple months ago. He's like, yo, like we grown, we got kids. Like, I don't want to have any problems with him. Like, I would love to sit down and squash the shit and maybe even work on some music. He said that. And Jim was the one who was like, no, no, we not resolving shit. So Max, I think has matured a lot more than Jim has.
Right.
And it's a shame because it's like the dude was very like earnest and just seemed like, hey man, like, but at the same time, Jim wasn't the one saying that like the crazy shit that Max was. That's easy for him to be like, hey man, like let's leave the past in the past. Like that's easy for him.
Chrissy touched it in Miami. Yeah. Yo, he had a whole DVD series just talk, and I didn't see Jim Jones really say too much. Honestly, outside, just seen a little scuffle with French and his people or whatever, but they really didn't see it. But I think with Jim it's different than like say Cameron. I can see him and Cam eventually squashing it and dapping up and shit because they got that relationship goes back and they were shorties, them kids. Him and Max was more like a business really. He met him later in life, you feel me? So that may be part of it as well. You know what I'm talking about?
But at the end of the day, bro, like he said all that shit about his wife, and that's still his wife. So he's in a position of like, bro, you gotta apologize to her first before anything. Like, and I don't think he's gonna do that. So,
I mean, that would be dope though. That would do numbers if they actually collab, man. Like, that may be the space where that would. If you're looking at the money over the maybe the personable shit, that would do fucking numbers. That might break the internet, you feel me?
Oh yeah, and even musically, because Jim's in a good place as far as his shit right now.
Max will hop on Griselda type shit samples. That's why I linked them. Plus subject matter would be similar. Harry Fraud, Alchemist, etc. Same producers lacing the current East rappers. I don't know, man. I really don't get the Griselda comparison, dog. Just listen to Max old shit, you feel me? I mean, he throw a coke bar in there every once in a while, but it wasn't the same thing, bro. It just wasn't the same thing to me. I don't even think he'd be good on the Griselda beat. You think Max would be good on the Griselda beat?
Nah, I mean, Harry Fraud, that's the thing about him. He's like a chameleon because he wasn't giving Max B the shit that he was giving Action Bronson later on. He's kind of like he adjusts to whoever he's working with. And Alchemist, Alchemist has a relationship with Jim, so there's that. So I don't know about that just off that.
That would be interesting, yeah. But any last thoughts on that? All right. Welcome home, brother. Hope you do something positive, man. Stay out of that box, brother. My favorite DJ who's not a DJ, DJ Vlad, recently stirred up some shit. Apparently he's suing Joyner Lucas over a tweet, I believe. When you get sued because you ain't want to do an interview, lame nigga been stalking me for years to go on his weak ass channel. When he finally realized I won't sit down with his bitch ass because I hate everything about him, he decides he's gonna try to extort me out of one instead. Shaking my head, DJ Vlad, you gotta be the bitchiest of all bitch niggas alive. You want to clout so bad, so here's your clout. Ho. Exclusive. DJ Vlad sues Joyner Lucas over social media clip and failed interview requests. He even posted it up. So it looks like somebody that was actually associated with Joyner, wasn't Joyner, But
manager.
he was responding to him, and you can see right here, I wanted to forego asking a legal copyright claim for my content being used in exchange for interview. We can do it our Van Nuys studio any day next week except for Tuesday. I want to speak to him ahead of time, so I know he's not going to it. Just making demands and threatening. You can't. I got my thoughts about him, but here we go. Screenshot it. Here's what I want you to tell Mr. Vlad for me. Dear Vlad, SMD, call your attorney and do whatever you have to do. I wasn't ever going to do an interview with you before in this lifetime. You're definitely not getting an interview now. So settle your legal matters however you want to settle them, pussy. I always thought you was a bitch. This just confirms got a bitch you are. No way in a lifetime next will I ever allow someone like you to try to extort me out of an interview. You got me all the way fucked up. Send that to him, please. And he responded inclined with his suing. So there you go. That is a synopsis of the whole situation. What do y'all think about I ain't even Vlad? He's not a DJ. How do y'all think about Vlad suing Joyner Lucas?
It's just that it's crazy. I'm not surprised by the act, but it is funny and crazy to like read through all the texts and see Vlad continually beg for this interview basically from the manager. And then it gets to the point where he's like, you know, hey, I need this interview or I'm going to sue you for Joyner talking bad about me on some clip or something like that from a song or he used Vlad on a clip. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's just funny and ridiculous. Not a surprise. And it's still a surprise to me that Vlad gets to continue to work in hip hop, but that's out of my control.
That's a bad picture. That looks like they like put a stencil of a beard and just like sprayed in it.
You got the Carlos Boozer beard, dog.
Yeah, he should use a different picture of himself. But yeah, like I don't know. It's just I mean, this is his character, man. Like this is I think it was kind of lame for Joyner to be posting texts and all that shit himself, but you know, whatever. But yeah, definitely not out of Vlad's character. I mean, Vlad TV exists because of a lawsuit, so you know
I can't say we got smacked up by Rick Ross basically, and then had to fucking use that money to actually get his platform. Before that,
giant payday.
Yeah, and before that, he was just basically a failed dude who tried to get people to do mixtapes. Before that, you know, that's why I really don't respect the DJ Vlad even moniker. I think DJ is an actual term that means shit, and I don't really give that moniker to people like academics and Vlad and shit like that because it's actually a culturally relevant title.
I mean, he was a DJ, bro. Like I don't like the guy.
He didn't spin shit, bro.
I remember the butcher era of him. Like because I've been into this shit a while, so it's like I'm familiar with him, and like before he was doing media and all that shit. So it's like I don't fuck with him as a person. I'll give him credit for like his time when he was in that lane, but you know he's a piece of shit at the end of the day. So,
bro, when the last time you seen this cat spin, bro? I've seen.
He abandoned that completely. But I'm just saying I'm not gonna act like it. That wasn't like a phase of his career,
bro.
But,
yeah,
I shot basketball in 8th grade. I'm not a fucking professional basketball player, bro. This not a fucking DJ, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like I said, Khaled, I give him his props. I seen him spinning recently. It may not be the greatest, but he was fucking spinning. That's fine.
He may be
tearing tables in front of that cat. He look at you crazy. He ain't spending shit, but that money. But that's beyond the point. I agree with your sentiment. You feel me? That it's some bitch shit, bro. It's some bitch shit. And I go even farther and say that he didn't even like ask or beg for it. He literally just tried to extort that man out of and then made demands on top of the extortion. That was kind of crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like, I need to talk to him first so I know he's not being negative. Like, who the fuck?
Yeah, what?
He's very entitled. Like he acts like people owe him something because it's like I think today he posted the Offset and Cardi shit.
Yeah, he's done some wild
I
shit,
think
bro.
so.
Yeah, he posted that today. Yeah.
Yeah. And he got the whole thing with the Migos where he has this idea in his head where it's like, oh, they're big now, and I did one of their early interviews, so they owe me a new interview, like, because that one took off. Like, bro, like, no. And first of all, you don't even pay people to do interviews, so and you definitely weren't paying them, so they don't owe you shit.
He pays some people. That's the only reason they go there now.
Oh, he pays regulars. He don't pay artists, and he wasn't paying anybody at a certain point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I agree. I don't see a lot of his posts because the bitch got me blocked with my 9, so I know he sees every fucking thing. He probably sees this shit. But but I think he does have this aura where I seen him recently on the on math shit not too long ago. He has this aura where he acts like he's actually relevant in hip hop, right? He acts like he's actually like breaking people's records and he's actually putting people on. And you would think he's fucking Leo Cohen or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think he's fucking like putting him up. Like, the way he talks is just so off-putting to me, bro. Because it's like, who the fuck are you? Do interviews with Boosie who tells his stories about, his wild stories in Louisiana and shit like that. You interview Tony Yayo and shit. You don't really have any cultural significance to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did you do in the realm of hip hop to advance it as a platform? And there's people I don't even like. You know what I mean? I don't like Ebro, but I can submit Ebro has done some shit. You know what I mean? To advance it.
Way more than him.
Exactly.
Way more than him.
Exactly. Right.
Not
so
even
I can give credit where credit is due, but where the fuck is the credit here, bro? You got beat up by Rick Ross and them, and you bought a platform and you played for interview. You know what I mean?
And I respect Leo Cohen way more than him.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
still a vulture, but I mean, at least he's done shit.
Well, I mean, the thing about Leo Cohen is he'll tell you exactly how he's gonna fuck you. And it's up to you. It's up to you how you want to proceed, but he'll tell you. He'll lay it all out for you. So it's like you gotta respect somebody like that at the end of the day. Whatever. But
I feel you on that, man. You got something? I think you was gonna say something, Obi.
I don't think I was, but I will say I haven't seen a Vlad interview in probably 10 years. I'm happy to say that. Like, I have no interest in having in a long time. I've kind of just been like, fuck Vlad and fuck everything he puts out. And that's how it's been. He's been out of my eyesight for a long time. Thank goodness.
And I honestly think that sentiment is spreading. If you look at his recent numbers compared to his numbers how they used to be, granted, everybody's numbers is down a little bit, but his is way down. Even his fucking tweets and shit, he has like 1 million his tweets. Like, we've had someone do more numbers than him, right? Like, it's his shit is down. His engagement and all that other shit. That's kind of why you probably seeing these moves like trying to extort Joyner Lucas. I have a fucking interview. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think Dre hit it. DJ Vlad pockets don't seem to be as fat. They used to be stooping to suing Joyner Lucas. My sentiments exactly, dog.
Joyner's writing for Will Smith, so it's like that would be a good interview because he would if he took the interview. That means it's kind of like, oh, I can ask him inside. I can't get Will Smith, but I can get, what I'm saying? I can get some sort of like inner details about like Will Smith's studio process or whatever, shit like that. Like, and that would do numbers.
Yeah, that's true. And he'll probably have like, a couple of questions that he could segment out about Eminem or something like that. Yeah. He's gonna have some big name. He's gonna get some quotes out of him for sure, or some things he can put on a headline and get the views for it. So
exactly.
Yeah, but the thing is, he can go anybody's platform and do that. You feel me?
But he doesn't. I don't think he does like a lot of interviews. So it's like if you get something exclusive out of him regarding Will Smith or Eminem, that's like that's gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Vlad needs people more than people need Vlad.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not one of those guys that can kind of like hold it on and people go with him off the strength of him being who he is. Like if you look at B.I. shit, right? B.I. gets people because they fuck with B.I. You feel me? Like, and he actually has stories to contribute to their stories and shit like that. Vlad don't really contribute much to the people he's interviewing, not at least from what I've seen the clips. Like you said, I'm like Obi. I seen a clip here and there, but I've never ever sat down and watched the whole Vlad interview. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying?
There's way better interviewers out there, like you said, B.I., even Big Boy. Like we could go on and on. There's so many better people. That's why it's so funny and so crazy that Vlad gets the numbers he does over everybody else.
And he brings in Wack. I had to bring in Wack 100 for my response to the Joyner Lucas copyright infringement lawsuit. And more on Wack later. We also did a 2-hour interview. A lot of facts are about to come out. Can't put my glasses back on. But even if you look at this, right, you got Wack 100. You got him talking about the Joyner Lucas shit, which is kind of going somewhat viral. But if you look at the engagement even on this shit, you know what I'm saying? Less than 14,000 views on a guy who has what, 1 million fucking followers, or 213. Oh, his shit went down. 213,000 followers and also 13 reposts. Like just looking at it on face value, this should have been, I would say, if this same caption was maybe 4 years ago or something like that, this motherfucker been doing numbers. You feel me? So I think.
You think so? I don't think he was always been like a Twitter troll. He's not like his fan base isn't on like social media. Like it's a lot of like it's a lot of people on Facebook. They're freaking his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Facebook and YouTube people. Like Twitter, he's not like. I believe a lot of those numbers are like, people buy followers, man.
No, for sure.
I don't think that's accurate as far as like 200,000. That's not accurate, man.
Yeah, I don't think so either, man. I think, and a lot of people left. If you got on Twitter like 2009 or 10, all you old timers are on Twitter and shit. Like a lot of them people have since left, but the accounts just sit there dead. You feel me? That's also some of the consideration. There's so many people, like even when we're doing interviews, I mean, even when we're doing promotion for artists and shit like that. 2020, 2021, people just got the fuck up out of there. You'll see people's pages vacant between like 2020 and 2022, bro. You feel me? They got the fuck
and I'll tell you this. Yeah, and I'll tell you this too. People don't like Vlad for Vlad. People like Vlad for who he has on. So it's like, why would they want to follow Vlad on social media? Nobody fucks with him like that.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was saying about the interviewers earlier. It's like you could pluck out Vlad and put anybody else in his place, and you get the same result, if not better. You know,
people go to him for numbers. That's all. Not for his personality or anything, which is like abrasive to begin with, because he inserts himself into everything. Like he'll be interviewing somebody and somehow find like some way to relate to it. Yeah.
He be on his Fat Joe shit, man. Fat Joe.
Fat Joe. You said fat something else.
No, I said Fat Joe, dog.
We get demonetized.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna see about this episode.
No, sir, Fat Joe. Take out a little bit of Wayno. I'm gonna play maybe the first minute of this. I don't want to get clipped, but
myself, I'm Wayno. How y'all feeling today?
He's not gonna do that to you.
Hit that sub button, hit them likes, run up that hype. Today, another conflict, another saga is brewing, and we just at the cusp of it. It is Vlad, DJ Vlad, Vlad TV, whatever you would like to call him. You know what I'm saying, I think the D in Vlad stands for dictator. You know what I'm saying, and Joyner Lucas. Now, this came as a surprise to a lot of people on Friday. I myself didn't see this on my bingo card, but what the fuck is on the bingo card in 2025? Like what can't happen? What won't happen? What will happen even? You know what I'm saying? But Joyner Lucas posted all of this from his IG. And it's a chronicalized timeline, or it's a timeline of DMs that Vlad had been sending to Joyner Lucas to try to get him to do a Vlad TV interview. Start September 1st, 2018. This is Vlad. Interested in interviewing you for Vlad TV. You killed it in Kamikaze, by the way. Then he hits him again 2 years later, May 15th, 2020. come through for an interview. It'll be legendary, right? Then let's keep this shit going. Then this is May 16th, 2020. Interested in interviewing Joyner Lucas, Vlad TV, right? Then it's more, right? This is somebody talking with Vlad. It's somebody says following up with Joyner, following up about Joyner again would be a good time with the Will Smith single. Follow up again. This is December 13th, December 15th. And then another one on December 15th. It says, what's good, bro? His dropping, he probably meant to say he's dropping his album top of the year. Let's revisit then, right? You go to the next drink, and it's basically saying, he's saying copy. Now in January, following up about the interview again. You said hit about this time. Then this is in June. Yo, this nigga's persistent as a motherfucker. It says, good to finally meet both of you. Let's lock in an interview. He said, you too. We'll keep in touch. He says, how can we lock in an interview? I guarantee this would be his most viewed or his most watched, right? His most watched ever. Person responds, I'm sure it will. Just right timing. When were you thinking? Right? This is June 23rd. Because he been getting curved. I mean, listen, bro, it's been 2 years. Now, the thing about it is, like, sometimes people do chase a lot for interviews, but a lot of times you got to read the room. A lot of people have problems with DJ Vlad specifically because they feel like he gets people locked up. I'm a firm believer as the police only know questions that was answered. So if you get questions asked and they could be somewhat incriminating on any level, if you know that you handle or you deal in any sort of criminal activity, illegal activity, then you should not be talking about any of that if you go on any platform, let alone Vlad's. But that's not how the world works today. The world works upon strictly just views, like just vibes. Like if I can get the views, that's all that matters, right? And he responds and it says, not sure, we'll let you know. Then it says,
so that's kind of the part I want to hit on. On top of him chasing him like a scorned bitch for 2 years. What do y'all feel about the notion that people like Vlad are like snitches, or they enable people to snitch or thing like that? Do y'all think that's actual validity? This has just, if you're stupid enough to go on the internet talk about shit that's on you, what do y'all think about that narrative?
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, you can't answer a question. Like, if somebody asks you a question, like, you can just not answer it, or you can give them a like, you know, like a roundabout response. But you know, like, nobody can use information that you didn't give.
Mm-hmm. Entrapment. It was entrapment. I went on DJ Vlad and he asked me questions, so I had to snitch on my coke business and all the people I shot.
I never liked that. I never liked that that whole narrative. Like, I don't fuck with the guy. I think he's a piece of shit for different reasons. But to say he's a fed or anything like that, like, that's not his responsibility for you to conduct yourself like a smart individual, like a grown adult. You know, people gotta take accountability for their own shit. So that's not his fault, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I think he's a fed or a snitch, but I do think that he asks questions purposefully, obviously looking for bait answers, and people do need to be smarter, but it's also a shitty thing to do to ask those questions.
I mean, bro, that's journalism. At the end of the day, people are supposed to ask questions that they want the answer to. It's up to you if you want to give the answer.
I guess, but if you're having, it's hip hop, and he's having on street artists, and then like digging into any song and asking them some very specific questions. You know, it's just not everybody's smart enough. That's the problem, and that's on them. You know, that's not Vlad's fault. But like I said, it's just you don't see any of the other big interviewers asking that kind of, you know, shitty questions to to people that are coming by. Not the good ones. I'm not saying none, but
yeah. But it's like you can only blame him so much. Like you were smart enough to do the shit, so it's like you should be smart enough to know not to, you know, tell on yourself.
No, I agree. I agree with that for sure.
I don't know. I guess it kind of depends. A lot of these at least his early interviews, or at least the ones that he have that we mentioned and are talking about. A lot of the more media trained artists kind of know better. A lot of the more veteran or whatever. When you have maybe these 18, 19, 20-year-olds first record deal, maybe even have a deal. They're trying to, impress, and you asking, are you steering the conversation to certain ways? Because I've even seen interviewers like, all right, we're not going to talk about that, right? Like, I don't even want to put myself in the witness stand to have to testify against you. So, I think it's a little bit of blame to go around because you desperate. You know what feeds the audience, and you bringing these young knuckleheads up there to say that shit. You feel me? So I'm not going to completely absolve him of that. You feel me? I think he does have some culpability in that. But at the same time, yeah, you should know a little bit better. You know what I mean? But you up there, first interview, you in the studio, lights bright on you. You know what gets the fucking views. You think he's really going to post an interview with these maybe lesser known artists and there's nothing controversial in it? He might not even post the shit if you don't say something, you know what I mean, that makes it that viral moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but same time, bro, if they didn't go there, they go somewhere else. Because people like that are so willing to tell on themselves or give that information, attention is really it at the end of the day. So it's like they're gonna go with the first person or the biggest person that offers them a chance to, tell their story or whatever they got going on. So it's like you can only really put so much blame on him in regards to that.
Yeah, but I don't
That's
like
true.
them.
When did that?
Yeah, I don't agree with it. I think it's trash, but it's like, most of the blame is on them at the end of the day.
True. I guess my thought would be like, and because like D would know better because I'm a little bit younger, but like, were those questions at all getting asked to artists in like the 90s and stuff like that? I don't really feel like when I was growing up, I was hearing artists having to answer real specific questions about crimes. It might be like they might sprinkle in something about, the tiniest bit of information, but they weren't trying to like goat that information out of artists and get them to incriminate themselves like they do now a little more. So it's like, if Prodigy was talking and getting asked the same question, that's a bad example because he's a pretty smart guy. But you see what I'm saying? If somebody else was getting asked that back in the 90s, one of our favorites, like, would they be screwing themselves over, or did they just not get asked the questions? So they didn't have the chance to shoot themselves in the foot like that.
They stuck mostly to the music. Like if you were the source, right, you're not going to be like, hey, what robberies did you fucking commit, right? You really didn't see that in the Source magazine or anything like that. Like if you was outside.
Who'd you shoot on this song that you said you shot?
Yeah, why did you do this? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's greatly Vlad's fault, and bro, let's keep it funky, man. There's a lot of people ain't fucking smart, man. A lot of these people ain't fucking smart. It's very vulturous to take advantage of people ain't that fucking bright and is trying to get on, and this shit may be bad for them, and you ask them certain questions. Yeah, it's partly their fault, but goddamn, you ain't gotta be a fucking vulture, dog. There's other ways you can make a fucking buck, my G. You feel me? That's just the way I kind of feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the bigger platform in this situation. You are the bigger person in this scenario. We would chastise anybody else who took advantage of a person. If you was a boss at a job and you know what I mean, if you do this, if you go wash my car, maybe I'll give you a fucking, so I believe if you're going to exploit somebody, you should be called out, because that is exploitive to me, dog. It's just exploitive.
Oh, for sure. But like if you're a fucking grown adult, it's like,
we know some grown adults that's like,
you can't. I mean, if he brings up a fucking 35-year-old to his platform and they decide to go down the list of shit that they did that, the police didn't know about and all that shit, how much blame can you really put on him?
That's on him. No, yeah. I'm more thinking of like the 22-year-olds, the 20-year-olds, stuff like that. People that are, younger, they're trying to get ahead in the world and not thinking straight. If you're coming out of the streets,
age don't equal wisdom, dog. If somebody's doing this with these 60-year-olds who falling for the Nigerian prince scam, bro, it actually sometimes gets worse as you get older, bro. Like, so it's a catch-22 in there, bro. But I think that's all we got. I think we spent enough time talking about This
Yeah,
piece
fuck,
of shit,
yeah,
motherfucker. All right, so moving on. What we got next? Oh, I actually got to do this fucking quick shit. We're gonna do the crash dummy of the week. One of the running buddies actually of this other guy. So this is gonna be quick because I don't want to talk about this guy that much.
Hey, Dad.
And speaking of people who cannot stand anybody else being in the fucking limelight, Wack 100 did an interview with the guy who sells his wife. Let's take a look at it.
His brother called me
and said what?
He ratted on him.
Not the wave god.
You want me to play it? He's sending me to work.
Sure.
Right? They smoke him up. They kill somebody up in there doing a robbery.
Because like somebody tries to intervene. Yeah.
Right? Everybody get away. Max B get questioned.
Mm-hmm.
He tells him what club that the female works at and what project building she live in.
Oh.
He identifies the chick.
He is so excited to tell that somebody else is fucking. Oh my God.
They snatched the chick. The chick then identifies Pooh Sims. We found an appeal where he gave him the information on the chick. That was a violation. We seen that. But then it was a sealed file. Right? I said, so some in this sealed file. He said, boy, Wacky was right. I said, what you mean? He said, when dude came back, he put everything on me. Said, I did everything. He put everything on me. That's how I got his time knocked down.
I don't even want to hear no more of this motherfucker talk. This is a grown-ass man. Speaking of people who get older and not so bright, right? Wack 100, dog. You have the perfect name, by the way, because you're a whack motherfucker. But this man is 48 years old. This man was born like season 3 of fucking Good Times. He's sitting next to a man who fucking rents out his wife like a fucking 03 Malibu, talking about another man's business and having everybody's paperwork. Bro, first and foremost, how the fuck you got everybody paperwork, Mr. Officer? He might as well just pull out his badge at this point, yo. Just pull out your badge, bro, because this makes no fucking sense. This man has been given a pass day in and day out, and the worst part of all of this is that he portrays this gangster image. He's Wack 100, big blood, right? Big B's, right? But you sitting on a fucking podcast with a motherfucker who didn't talk shit about black folks, for one, you know, and you stay talking about other people's paperwork, other people's business. You can't let nobody shine. Max B literally just got out. Nobody else has gave this revelation that he's some kind of snitch. Snitches usually don't do like 20 fucking years. You know what I'm saying? So it's just fucking ridiculous at this point. And to me, this man, him, Vlad, I think Dre hit on it earlier. Him, Vlad, Adam, these people should be ostracized, man, from the community, bro. If you are an artist or something, don't sit down with these people. There's plenty of platforms you can go to that actually value your music tree and actually want to talk to you and ask you questions relevant to the way you do music. You do not have to resort to yourself to dealing with these people like him, Wack 100s of the world, and all these people, academics who was recently voted like the top of the creme de la creme of hip hop fucking media coverage. That shit makes me sick to my fucking stomach. And grow the fuck up, brother. Do something else with yourself. Like I said, you're pushing 50 years old, dog. You don't have to be a chatty patty talking on other people's paperwork 24/7, dog. And for this, Mr. Wack 100, bro, I gotta go ahead and give you that big old car crash. And I actually got something special in the works for you too, because this is why I think of people like you. And there you have it, bro. Our crash dummy of the week, Mr. Wack 100. All right, what else we got? The Grammys. So like I said, I'm gonna hit this up really quick. I'm gonna pull up the list. I'm gonna pull up this right here. I just want to kind of get y'all thoughts, prediction. As we know, the nominations came in not too long ago. And mostly just kind of taking a glimpse at the hip hop and hip hop adjacent type of categories that we have here, being that it is a huge kind of event. What we got here? Is this the Grammy shit or not? It's not. Grammy nominations full list. Give me 1 second. Oh, it's struggling. 2026 Grammy Nomination Award. So we got the list here. Check out the full list. General Field Record of the Year. You got Bad Bunny, and then Doechie's actually in there with Anxiety. Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga. Of course, you got the Luther joint with Kendrick Lamar and SZA. We got the album of the year, hip hop shit we got in there. We got actually the clips I think everybody's is most anticipating. Hopefully they could pull it off.
Well, don't say that, man.
Why?
Don't say that. Don't say that, because people out now, if you say anything other than Kendrick, bro, like you gonna get them trying to get you out of here. You know,
can't assassinate my character because I ain't acting. When you got GNX in there, you got Leon Thomas Mutt. That's big, bro. That's big. Chromacopia in there, Tyler the Creator. Do y'all think? I guess I asked this to y'all. It's kind of early in the game. Who was y'all album of the year out of all these people? To y'all.
At all those
bring the garbage.
Heard, I'm going Clips.
Okay. Clips. See, I gotta be safe. I gotta protect my life. I gotta say GNX because I don't want the I don't want the Lamar I don't know, whatever they call themselves. I don't want them showing up outside of my house, you know. I don't want them to hurt me, man. I don't want any problems.
That's all right. They can come from me. I gave us some awards at the end of last year. That's 2020. That's old shit for me. So Clips.
Yeah, I mean Kendrick. If we going off just like, you know how they do like the NBA, somebody win the MVP too many times and you got to give it to somebody else. I think didn't he win like 6 of them motherfuckers last year? I think it'd be all right to give Kendrick a break, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, jokes aside, bro. That's what I don't know if we're gonna get to that as like a topic, but you know, that was the argument that Rory and Damaris made. That's kind of like, you know, we don't think he doesn't deserve it, but it's like, you know, you could give somebody else like album of the year, and you know, people did not take too kindly to that for whatever reason. That sounded logical to me, but.
I think if it, and I mean, I love GNX, but if it was another album against Let God Sort Him Out, I think I'd be a little bit more, it'd be a tougher choice, but for me, it's Clips.
I mean, everything in album of the year, I liked. Everything in rap album of the year, I liked. Well, except I hear the Glorilla shit. That's just not my lane.
That's your bag.
I heard it.
I don't know if it's bad or good. That's just not my lane. But you know,
I don't like her voice, so for me, it was fine.
No, you don't like women. You gotta give her the. you gotta say you like her. You don't like women. So.
Okay, I got you. Well, I got 10 other.
On here.
I got 10 other women I could list off instead, but I just don't like Glorilla's voice, and I'm gonna stick by that.
It still feels like, man, like she's trying too hard when she does that super deep. You don't got to do all that, baby. You could. It's plenty of women that have rap from Memphis who didn't do all that. You feel me? Like Gangsta Boo didn't sound like that, bro. You ain't gotta rap with your mouth closed.
I agree. I like that. It's 7:45. That degrees. I like that shit, bro.
Nailed it. Oh, funny. Best rap performance, singles or tracks only. Outside, Cardi B, Chains and Whips, Clips, Anxiety. I see. Why is this in there? That's not a rap song, bro.
Now this one I actually would go with Kendrick for. I like TV Off more than Chains and Whips personally.
Yeah, it's not even the best song on the fucking album if we're keeping it real.
So, yeah.
Darling Guy, Tyler Creator, Tizo Touchdown. Yeah, a lot of these are like borderline.
I like that Tyler joint.
Yeah. Miss melodic rap performance for solo. What's the difference? Elements of R&B melodies and rap. All right.
Oh, Luther winning that. Luther winning that.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
I don't even know what any of those other songs sound like. I've never
money.
Well, other than the JID song. But that was one of the skips on that album, the JID joint.
Yeah.
So that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Best rap song. That's a songwriters award. Anxiety. See, I don't like this. Stop putting anxiety.
That song is like 2018.
Yeah, it's an old song.
They dug that up. Yeah, that's not even like current Doechii. So
yeah,
that's
interesting.
They got Sticky on there for best songwriter award. Why? Por qué? I mean, it was a decent track, but songwriting. All right, whatever.
I don't love that song.
Oh, it was all right.
And best rap album for albums containing greater than 75% playing time of new rap recordings. They had to put 75% because folks keep releasing deluxes. Let God sort them out. Clips, Pusha T and Malice, Glorious. They did put Glorilla in there, huh? God Does Like Ugly, JID, GNX, Kendrick, Chromacopia. I would say they probably gonna split it. They probably gonna give one of these awards to the Clips, and they probably gonna give one to Kendrick just because the fucking Academy does it like that. That's what I'm thinking. I don't even know why they put J.I. They know they finna get G at the fucking Grammy. They can stop it. Stop the cap.
Yeah, but that's dope for him that he got like a nomination.
Yeah,
it's just like he get like a lot of doors are gonna open for him and everybody who produced on that album. You know, because I have a homie produced on there, so it's like I'm happy for him. Still in that sense.
Oh, future price going up, dog. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
That's like an accomplishment itself. People sleep on that, but yeah. I don't know. I mean, which of y'all favorite on rap?
Out of these albums right here?
For sure, Clips. And like I said, I mean, it's kind of. I mean, for me, it's funnily pretty easy. And like I said, I kind of love GNX. And I still think it's kind of an easy pick for me. So I don't know. They can be mad.
I think that's gonna be the last two though. I think the rest of them don't even stand a chance. I mean, yeah, they're not giving Tyler that shit. Forget about
You don't
that.
think so?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm kind of like in between that and GNX.
After those tweets and shit came out this year and shit, and the Academy highly influenced by the internet, dog. I don't think they doing that.
I mean, the Academy is a lot of artists.
Yeah, and a lot of artists.
A lot of his peers and friends.
I don't think they're gonna do it, dog. Not this year. I think it's firmly paused. GNX, let God sort them out. But we shall see. And Glorilla was kind of like, I think that was like I think that was like we gotta throw in a woman for it. Now, no offense, I think it was a good album. Don't come at me. But I think that was just like a fucking like participation trophy. You know what I mean? Like, it was pretty good. We need to throw some representation on there. I don't think that was a Grammy worthy fucking album. It was good, but it wasn't like Grammy worthy to me. You know what I mean? That's just my take on that.
I mean, what's Grammy worthy anymore?
Sticky.
Yeah, my opinion is also fuck the Grammys. And I've been boycotting them since Will Smith started boycotting them. So that's my opinion, realistically.
You know what? You know what? Take this motherfucking ho for that.
Yeah, ho!
I appreciate that opinion. All right, so yeah, I think it's not till February, so we got a lot of time to ponder that. So we ain't gonna spend too much time on the Grammys. I'm sure that the subject will come up again. So next thing we got Westside Gunn real quick. As you know, he said he got kicked out of his favorite thing to do is go to the wrestling shows. Apparently WWE kicked him out of a Raw taping. Pause. Because for some reason, I don't know why the fuck they did it. I'm thinking maybe because he has his own wrestling promotion. He also kind of does a little business with AEW, but this is I'm not reading this whole tweet. I'll read the first part. Before I even say this, just know God is the greatest for years. boom, boom, boom. I mean, nobody with 2 feet has spent the amount of money I have supporting and pushing the brand I've loved since I could remember. I sat front row with every big show, literally all the good times it brought to my life, to the point where I started making music. I incorporate everything like Wu-Tang did karate. And he goes on to say his love of wrestling. I just went viral for spending 50K on the sweets. But here we go right here. On my soul, I've only been respectful. I tried having conversations with one individual because he's causing all these unnecessary cases. And to be honest, he hates seeing a young, black, successful entrepreneur that could afford those seats and have to watch those chains dance across that screen, to the point Monday Night Raw starts at 8 o'clock. I was kicked out by 8:03 after spending $5K for a seat plus travel plus. I find this part I find funny about this hotel. I mean, this whole tweet is that he kept talking about how much money he spends on the WWE, how much he fucking spends on this. Bro, you're talking a multi-billion-dollar business, dog. It's like that's a drop in the fucking bucket for them. You feel me? Like, it's nice that you spend so much money on WWE, but you probably shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, that's your hobby. That's something you chose to do. It's not like, oh my God, WWE is gonna sink and Westside Gunn's not buying the tickets no more, you know. So that's the part I found kind of funny about this. But what do y'all think about everything? As we know, Westside is a big supporter. I think he's switching out all his album covers and shit. I don't know if he's doing it or he's been requested. He already switched it up for the He'll Have Eyes 3 and 2, actually. I've seen 2 got a changed cover, I believe, too. So what do y'all think about this whole shit, man?
Yeah, I think the whole trilogy got switched out. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot about wrestling. He was wearing his heels hat at the show, right? So he's front row wearing his own different wrestling promotion on his hat. It would be better for WWE if they like embraced him, I feel like, but they don't seem to want to do that.
I mean, I don't know, bro, because he has his own league.
No, I know. Yeah, that's what I mean. So I don't know.
He's competition as far as like
at this point, yeah. But I mean, to be fair, that's a newer thing too. They could have been embracing him, but I'm surprised they kicked him off. Like I said, it's the only thing I could think of is because of the branding on his clothes for kicking him out of the stadium first thing.
Yeah.
I mean, was he ever really like, did he ever really have a personal relationship with, as far as like executives up there? I don't think he ever did.
I don't think so. Yeah. And I mean, a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, they sent him a cease and desist or something on some music or something. I was trying to look it up and I didn't have time to before today's podcast, but yeah, like 2 years ago there was another thing where they were suing him or something, and he was mad about that, I remember. So this is not particularly the first time that they've clashed. So yeah, not too surprised.
You think Vince would have embraced him?
Hell no. Hell no. Oh my God, man, he got so many cease and desists, his fucking head rung back. Bro, Vince wouldn't even get a black that's the one thing that was kind of too also funny about the tweet. You know, we can have our own how we feel about it, but it's been Jade Cargill's champion right now. You've had Kofi Kingston. You've had people that would never sniff that belt that have actually been champions in WWE. You know what I mean? They entire fucking NXT is all like thick black beautiful queens. like, you feel me? So I think it's actually been a very big change in WWE since he took over. You know, if you keep up with wrestling about who's been the champions and stuff like that, people who, if Vince was the shit, then people been doing comedy skits, man. They've been dancing around with face paint and some shit, doing clown skits and shit. So I will say that part really didn't. I think that was more so kind of anger speaking. Also, man, like, he's in a space, I think, where he's just started that company, Fourth Rope. You know, I don't think he really knows a whole lot about like the history of maybe the wrestling business, not just watching people on TV, but like how cutthroat and grimy that fucking business is. Like, if you just read some of the old documentaries about the shit these people used to do back in the day, if you fucking read about what Jimmy Snuka and all, man, it's fucking terrible. Even Rock's dad, you got some, you know what I mean? Like, it's some real bad, grimy people that was in. Even if you look at Vince's, like, they pulled his a lot of his he skip the rest of that documentary on Netflix because all that shit came out about what they was doing behind the scenes, the territory wars, people get beat up. Like it was real, really real. So like if you competition, like, you know, Cloud was alluding to earlier, like you got to move a little bit different, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're if you're back in the 70s and you own the ABA, you may not go sit courtside at an NBA game, right? If you own the USFL in the 80s and you go to an NFL game, they might kick you the fuck up out of there if you didn't really talk to somebody first, right? And I think that's more so on these lines, you know what I'm saying? I think he probably should have made some phone calls and shit before tweeting it out. But I mean, if you feel some type of way when you spend some type of money, that shit happens sometimes. You feel me? But I don't think it's necessarily because he's a black man with some nice chains on sitting in the front row, because there's plenty of rich black motherfuckers that be in the front row of wrestling events, right? I think it's more so just not knowing the business. You feel me?
They also don't respect music.
Yeah,
they don't like respect it because they didn't like one example is when people do the themes, they don't get royalties or any of that. Like they get a flat check and they just get nothing after that. Jake One was talking about that, like how he produced the John Cena theme. He's never seen a penny for that.
Don't they got to pay? They released like an album though, didn't he?
Yeah, you don't get paid nothing.
Can they do that? Don't the guy get some kind of...
I mean, they if you sign the contract, if you're okay with the terms, if you like, okay, I'll take that loss. Like the exposure outweighs the, you know. But they don't give royalties, nothing like that. So it's like they just don't respect music.
That's crazy. John Cena went like platinum, didn't he, or some shit?
Yeah, and they put that out. So he doesn't get paid off that either.
That's crazy. That's insane. Yeah, that's insane. Do we think we're gonna see some change on how Westside Gunn? Like, well, I guess the first question was, you a fan of him doing like the old wrestling backgrounds?
Cool. Yeah, I thought it was cool, but I mean,
yeah, I don't mind it, and it kind of sparked a whole wave of that kind of stuff, you know. So it seems like it's let some secret wrestling fans come out, so that's great for them.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we're gonna get more the guy with the mustache wearing Hermes album.
Well, those are just numbers now. That's why we got 12.
Yeah,
that's why it's just 12. It'll be 13. That's what it's gonna be.
You think that might be part of why this?
I did wonder that,
because that is part of why he had like a weird relationship with Shady. Because there were dudes at Shady that were like they didn't really like that. So
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I mean there could be some. I mean, you go to Westside's, you know, discography and you scroll down and it's pictures of wrestlers and pictures of someone else. So there's a chance they just didn't like that. Hey, I don't want to get the episode. I don't know what I can say, but you know.
Yeah, I feel you on that, man. I agree. So, that could be. It could be. Yeah, I'm not sure, man.
He had an album called Chris Benoit. Also,
yeah, they're not gonna like that. Yeah, they're not gonna love that.
Well, I think he changed. I think he changed it because of them. I think they made him change it because he was calling it that, and then he ended up having to change it to Supreme Clientele.
Oh, okay.
But that was originally called Chris Benoit. Yeah,
yeah.
Yo, he's a wild boy. Westside Gunn's a wild boy.
He's on the cover though.
But
they let him use him for the cover.
He's gonna have to move a little different now that he's getting up in their fame, though. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit you did, you know, when Griselda was kind of a gritty underground kind of group or whatever. You're not gonna be able to move like that as you get up and up, particularly as you get in business. You feel me?
Yeah, he was getting shock value shit off.
Yeah, he's getting shock value. That's not gonna fly, bro. It's not gonna fly.
And he knows that's what he was doing. He's talking about that. He knows he was doing it like shock value, but it's like, yeah, you can't really be doing it. Like you're where you want to be, so it's like you don't need to be doing that shit no more. But I don't think he really has been doing that shit now. I think it's just the past coming back to bite him. Where it's like, oh, you're the dude who was doing those Hitler. Like we remember you. Like we remember.
Boom, 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 boom.
Or, you're the dude that we sued before about the Chris Benoit shit. So it's like, yeah, I think this is just the past coming back to him.
Well, I was gonna say I just looked it up real quick just to see if I could find it, and it's at the beginning of 2022, WWE sued him for copyright, or they filed for copyright takedowns on a bunch of different songs and stuff. So that's what I mean. And he put out a thing back then that said like, "Why are y'all taking my samples?" He got all pissed on. He got all pissed on social media then. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not the first time, and I honestly wouldn't be that surprised if we like see him in 6 months at the Royal Rumble or whatever the hell goes on.
Oh man, yeah, you gotta move a little different, brother. You're kind of a brand now. You feel me? You're your own brand. It was not just the guy that's in Griselda, right? You are, your own brand. You got to move a little bit different, brother. The shock value shit. And the internet is forever, though, so that shit will come back. Any last thoughts on that joint? Man, what the fuck happened to Hotel? We finna get ready to listen to music, and he just bailed the fuck out. Hotel! Get your ass back in him. So let's go to the DOD. We're gonna listen to... it took me, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. It took me about 15 fucking minutes looking at this fucking name to figure it out. And I was like, Gnarly HD.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Gnarly HD. Please, for the love of God, change your name. But let's play this song they got here. But actually, let me play the intro to the DOD because I'm fucking up. There we go. We have Gnarly HD. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Smoking at the Pump from their album Major Malfunction in the Bay. Even though they're from Philly, so I don't get the Bay shit. But here we go.
The big wicked, immortal wizard. I pull up and park the whip like a dickhead. I'm about to lift like a man on a mission. Right through the back door, straight to the kitchen. I'm in the kickback, dancing like James in the payback. Shipping jetpacks, no rocket tech pack. Gotta intellect that. Get me in trouble if I don't take a sec to get my head back. Pull my head back, hop off the wagon, ride the white horse bareback. Then whip the Jeep down broad like it's Mad Max. Known to play a 4-4 so damn hard. Gotta leave the pads all bloody like a Tampax. 98 through Air Max, looking to save on. $20 off, no tax, I'm looking Raekwon. Kids full of crap on the track, they get their fake on. So I'm running up on lawns like I sell Avon. Eyes on a tramp stand, looking for my wife. 12 years deep, man, looking for my bike. Running out of luck at the end of the night. So I'm pulling out my last cig and giving it a light.
Yeah, singing on the chorus or the refrain, the one the humble T-Pain, the lucky rabbit thumb up on the keychain, the lucky alley some me wanna frequent, hanging with the Rico people you won't be seen with. You can't dream up the seismic scale of the high-pitched wail of the siren smell. What could I do? Well, not much, but they saw holding on mics like 29 pounds. How we hold court like Apollo Hobo. California sober rappers snorting up the nose. Major malfunction, they was looking iffy. Now I wonder how it got the name of Daily City. I had a feeling, would've made a million. Could've been appealing, turned into a villain. When I'm on my nonsense, better let me slide. When I'm all obnoxious, severing my ties. Who got the F on the ink blot test? Who kissed the ring pop next? Yes, G to the HD, S to the F. I was out in Oakland, I was hoping for the best.
Major malfunction in the base, stay alive, stay away, get your head right, get your mans right. Major malfunction in the base, stay alive, stay away. What you know, where you're from, what it feels like. Major malfunction in the base, stay alive, stay away, get your head right, get your mans right. Major malfunction in the base, stay alive, stay awake. Hey.
There you have it. Gnarly HD. Smoking at the pump. Like I said, coming from Philly. Let me change this a little bit. And
Are you
first,
sure?
Yep, I'm positive, dog. I pulled up their YouTube, Philly. And I posted up earlier. That's why I said I don't get the Bay shit. Maybe it's a theme or something. Maybe one of them from the fucking Bay. I thought they was for sure from the West Coast, but I did a little research on them, man. They did send the manager sent the way I found this track, the manager sent something to the inbox and shit. So, but I'll make sure though. But the YouTube says Philly, dog. You know what I mean? But we heard the track Smoking at the Pump. What do you think? And I got Cloud. I believe you're up first, dog.
Okay. Yeah. The name of the album made me think that I don't know, they kind of remind me of Souls of Mischief, like, which is, who are from the Bay, like just very like hieroglyphics type of shit. Or like Prozac Turner. I really like the style of it. As far as like the execution, I'm kind of like mixed on it because it don't sound like it sound like something that came out like in the 2000s, like quality wise, like not like necessarily like how good it is, but as far as like how it sounds like something that came out in the like mid 2000s, like very like Visionaries era shit. And I know I'm like aging myself crazy saying these names, like Dan the Automator type shit. Like this, I'm like aging myself. But
oh, that's all good shit.
Yeah. But yeah, like Deltron. This just has that whole like Hyro vibe, and I like that. I think they're kind of like pigeonholing themselves into that. But if that's their style and they don't mind going for that, I think they would fit right in, like right alongside those people as far as like that style. I would say thumbs up. I'm leaning more towards thumbs up.
Oh, okay. You know what though? When I heard it, I was kind of like thinking like along the lines of like the type of shit I see you kind of like and shit. I think like they listen to these are old cats, bro. I'm gonna pull up their picture for you, but
yeah, it sounds like you know how people will try to do like the revivalism shit, like Joey Badass was doing when he first came out, like I'm bringing back the 90s type of shit. No, no disrespect to him, but he was a kid, but like how people try to do that, like I'm bringing back the 90s, or this sounds like it's from the 90s. This genuinely sounds like what they're trying to sound like. This genuinely sounds like that. It sounds authentic. That's why I really got to give them that.
Yeah,
I don't think they're as good as like Dell or any of them, but yeah, man, I like this shit. I would definitely hear more. Like, and I don't think I've said that about anybody. Like since we've done this segment, I don't think I've ever said like I would hear more.
Yes,
not since I've been listening and been on it.
I ain't never heard
to hear more though.
Yeah. They got some tracks, man. You know what? And going kind of what you all, like I said, I think they listen. I think they grew up listening to the fucking Beastie Boys, dog. They call and repeat shit, even though they little.
Oh yeah.
They call and repeat the last word greatly drawn out. It's not just like a backtrack. Like you can hear the influence that they're going for, and I agree with you. It feels almost like a throwback. It feels like they're trying to revive, but put a modern spin on kind of old style. It feels very hip hop. It feels very hip hop. Actually, the first time I listened to it, I really didn't fucking like it. I had to run it back. When I ran it back, I was like, okay, I can see what they're doing, right? Because sometimes you can't tell if something is purposeful if they actually going back, because I was listening to another artist I ain't gonna name right now, but he was giving me that like 2010 like old mixtape Jeezy shit, but it was like not modern. It was like you're just copying their style, and I'm like, this shit suck, right? Because I don't like to hear that. But when you actually can take something an older style and maybe flip it to modernize it, I think that is good. I didn't still, even after a couple listens on this particular track, I'm like, do I want to hear this shit again? I think it was all right. It's not really my style. Y'all know I like my fucking fantastical dope tales, you feel me? But I can definitely see people that are in that lane that like that type of music fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? They obviously got skill. So I'm torn if I could do the side. I know I get on y'all about this shit, but if I could do like the middle fucking thumb, I definitely probably would do the middle fucking thumb. But I'm gonna go ahead and give them a fucking thumbs up. I think it's enough there that I would go and hear more of their shit. Or if I particularly like that style, I think they got a good lane going on. I believe if they do more of these type of tracks, or even that second sample, that second part of that song with the beat switched up and shit, I was like, oh, I want to hear this whole fucking shit, right? A little bit more, but I'm gonna lean thumbs up, man. I'm stopping rambling. Obi, what you got, bro?
What do I got? What am I thinking? No, yeah, I'm kind of along the lines of Cloud. I liked the style. I like what they were going for. My only real criticism, I suppose, was kind of just like lyrically what I was hearing. That's just off of like the 1.52 listens I've heard of it in general, right? But yeah, I definitely think I would like to check more of them out. I think I'm definitely going thumbs up on this one, and might download the album and give it a spin. They have less than 100 monthly viewers or listeners, which is no big deal. But what I would say is put something in your description. Tell people about yourselves so that we know, where are you from? Where the fuck are you from? You know, I get so tired of asking people to give me info because their Spotify doesn't tell me anything and their Instagram doesn't tell me anything. Give people some fucking info. Not cursing at them. Sorry to curse. But give people some info so we know what's going on, because we're interested. And now we don't know what to do.
Yeah, they are hard. They had a Twitter link, but it doesn't go anywhere. They got an Instagram. They have actually, I think it's a Bandcamp. I just pulled this up. So if you look at these cats, bro, these motherfuckers are Philly. That's Philly like a motherfucker. With the coats and everything. That looks like Philly. But yeah, I think it does say like where they're actually a Philadelphia rap, Philadelphia, PA. So they are from Philly. So make sure y'all check them out, of course. Let me also pull up. Actually, let me just go back to this right here. They do have a YouTube, which I think also lists Philadelphia on there. So that's the point of this whole thing, that if you like what you hear, you make sure you go follow the artist. Like you said, they got less. Not that it matters, right? But they got less than 100 listeners. No, they are here grinding. They only got 11 subscribers on YouTube. So, and they got the whole shit here. So make sure y'all check them out. That's definitely music that is more deserving of 11 subscribers and more than 8 views, right? So hopefully, we wish them luck on their journey. They're also on X. You can catch them on X. I think their Instagram, I'll take back, the Instagram didn't go nowhere, but the X actually is up. So make sure y'all follow them, throw them a follow, see what they have in the future, man. That's part of what we do here, is we highlight independent artists and people trying to come up. And like I said, they actually submitted some shit for us to check out. So that's dope. I'm actually like enjoying that we getting like actually shit to the inbox these days. So people are listening out there. Gnarly HD, and their Bandcamp is also on their Twitter that we got up here. So 541 followers. Let's get that up a couple before we get up off here today. And they got videos and all types of shit on here. So that's all I got, man. If nothing else, we can go ahead and get into these discussions that we have. Let me pull up the first topic we got. Losing recipes, right? Is being a biter no longer an insult? We all know back in the day, I know Obi called me old earlier and shit, but back in the day, actually been described as like a biter was pretty much a death to your career. So let's play this real quick.
Members who had 9 originality was a thing back in the days. You know, you got Wu-Tang 9 members who had 9 different rap styles, but all from the same place. If you put 9 dudes together right now from a rap group, they're all gonna have the same flow. They're gonna look exactly the same. Actually, it was a requirement to be original. Yeah, biting like that wasn't a thing. Like you would, if you bit off somebody's style, or you would get called out about it immediately. Originality was a thing back in the day.
All right, there you have it. You heard what he said, yo. Biting was not allowed back in the day. Being called a biter was the biggest insult hip hop. You couldn't sound like nobody else. You had to be you, your own cadence, your own slang, your own story. Now everybody want to borrow a flow or recycle an aesthetic. Nah, there's a difference between being inspired and imitating. The culture was built on originality. That's what separated legends from copies. Don't bite, create bars. What do y'all think? Are we losing those recipes? Is biting now accepted? And where does paying homage stop and biting begin? Right? That's kind of a, I don't know. It's kind of a nuanced question, right? So what y'all got?
Yeah, that line, I think, right, is the tough part for me. And I've been trying to figure that out for a long time, as a lot of people seem to have been, because this is not a new thing that biting is now like acceptable, right? But I have been starting to think and say slightly that like we are into more of a time in hip hop where like influence needs to be considered, that people are gonna be influenced a lot more because they're like, we have kids raised on hip hop, right? So it's a tough line there, and it, like I said, it's getting blurrier even with people being raised on hip hop more and more. It's, yeah, I don't know, it's tough.
Yeah, but I mean, bro, there's a line where it's like influence and biting. Like biting is like when you're talking about like peers. Like if I come out like if I come out with an album and that should sound like it was written, you know, that's not me biting Nas. Like Nas is a fucking veteran. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know, unless I come out like rapping exactly like him and like, you know, all that shit and dressing like him, that's biting. But it's like, you know, it's, I feel like there's a point where it's influence. Like you can't be and in that same token, it's like you can't be influenced by like if you're like 40 years old and you come up and you just start like rapping like somebody who's 20 years old and just started rapping, then it's like that's biting, because it's like you're influenced by someone half your age, or you're influenced by somebody that's like perceived like that's like that's,
yeah, no,
that's
I agree with everything.
Yeah, that's the distinction I make. Like
that makes sense, because yeah, I'm starting to see some like younger artists, right, that have a clear like Kendrick influence, and you can kind of hear it and you can tell it, but they're also like good enough artists that you can tell they're not trying to bite or copy his style, but it's just they're kind of grown up on him at this point, which is crazy to say. So you can like hear that influence.
Yeah,
but it's a weird line too, because then when you listen, you go like, oh, this guy's he's good. He reminds me of Kendrick, or he's got that Kendrick style. And then as you said, and then like you start to be like, well, damn, is he like biting? He's got to switch that up more, or is he just influenced? And that's like, we're gonna, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, if you like a 20-year-old that's like sounds like Kendrick or whatever, you know, you're an impressionable kid at that point. You can't be the same age as Kendrick rapping like Kendrick. That's fucking weird.
No, I think you made a great distinction there with like, yeah, if they're your peers, or if you're stealing styles of people younger than you, that's a super wild look.
We're the same age.
Yeah.
You know?
No, absolutely.
If you look at though, let's go to some classic beefs, right? We all know Cameron has never had an affinity for Jay-Z and vice versa, right? The entire basis of one of Cameron's diss towards Jay-Z was biting Biggie rhymes. Even Nas said that, right? How many Biggie's words gonna come out your fat lips? Now they were peers, right? Jay and Big, you know what I mean? Did he ever cross the line, you think? You feel me? Saying a lot of Biggie's rhymes, you feel me? Was that paying homage?
Yeah, those weren't lines that nobody knew. Those weren't like deep album cuts. Those were like shit that everybody fucking knew. So it's like, yeah, I think he was reaching, but it's like you know, like you're in a fucking battle with the dude. Like you're gonna cling on to anything. But,
Oh yeah. No,
that was
anything's up for grabs when you're in the middle of a battle or fight in general. So I mean, that's just how that goes. But no,
and they sound nothing alike.
I mean, Jay-Z don't even sound like when he first started rapping. You know what I mean? Yeah, like the few schnickens fucking flow, and then he went to like sounding more like a modern rapper, right? It switched up. That's probably why that biting thing may try to hit or has some validity just because of the flow switch along at times. You know what I mean?
But I mean, does he don't sound like Biggie though? Like as far as how he raps and just like he don't sound anything like Biggie. He don't really sound like anybody.
I even heard him say "baby." You know what I'm saying? I think it's some similarities that you may not be seeing. You feel me? I think it's some similarities. But even then, there are times I think if you can do it respectfully, right? Shit, this goes way back in the day. What Snoop had a whole fucking song basically rapping like Slick Rick, right? But that we see that as paying homage to Slick Rick at the time, right? So I think as long as it's maybe a one-off thing, maybe something like, okay, this song, I'm gonna use this flow. Drake just had something not too long ago. It was probably like 10-12 years ago at this point, where he was using a very popular, he's just escaping my mind right now, but they was calling him out for that because he used like the same exact lines along with the same exact flow. Now that's different. Now if you kind of switch it up, but if you're using somebody's like intro that they had to that song, plus on top of that using the flow, now you getting kind of into the territory is like, all right, bro, what are we doing at this point, man? I gotta find that fucking song I'm thinking about. But
yeah, that's happened a few times for Drake. I think it might have been that YG song.
Yes. Who do you love?
Okay.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I think it's a line in there. Even just stealing people's cadence, though. You know, if you won off it, what was that? The 2 Chainz Freebase. What was that? Trap back or some shit. This flow coming from Drizzy, he got it from Migos, they got it from 3-6, right? You acknowledging that you're using a certain flow, and then you even shout it out to people that you're borrowing the flow from, right? So quotations. I think quotations is some footnotes is sometimes needed. I think if you do that and pay homage to the original artist, then it's cool. But if you, or even if it's just a one-off thing, but if you just like blatantly stealing somebody's flow for a whole summer or some shit, then that's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Drake's definitely like a big culprit of that. I mean, but at the same time, he never really like hides who he's like, you know, what he's doing or like who he's lifting from. Like, you know, a whole era of his career was like him rapping like Fonte. and he has literal songs where he's talking about Fonte is my favorite rapper. So it's like he don't like, I don't know. With him, it
don't feel right. I mean, you can kind of tell, bro. You
know,
but energy person. Sometimes you can be like, that don't feel like you paying homage. That feels like you on some other shit. And then if you're a repeat offender, that matters too. You feel me?
Yeah, well, I mean, you said every summer. I mean, Drake's the first person that came to mind because that's his whole thing. Finding a new artist to hop on a song, steal their style, and then make a hit and go to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, can you really call it biting though? When it's like he is like outwardly like paying homage, like, you know, he's giving respect to the person that he's like, you know, lifting from. So it's like
Drake,
it's hard to call it. It's hard to call it biting, but it's also hard to call it like. I mean, it's self-serving at the end of the day. He doesn't move in a way that's not self-serving. So.
Yeah, it's just tough because like if it was back to your situation, like what you were saying, if it was an older artist, not Drake, that's not as relevant nearly and biting somebody younger's flow, but he says, this is who I'm doing now. This is what I'm, you know, it would still be like, well, that's still kind of biting, right? And it's kind of some lame shit. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I think you gotta be grounded also. If you establish that you have your own style, all right, that you go to, like Freddie Gibbs sounds like Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs might do a homage or pay homage to somebody else. Yeah, but you gotta have your own, fucking style. If you sound like somebody every fucking year, or you just study switching, that's when it starts to get iffy. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck are you? We don't know who the fuck you are. Like, that's the problem with Drake. We don't know who the fuck Drake is, really. You know what I mean? Like, not to bring that onto him. I'm not trying to throw everything on Drake because it's kind of quite a few artists I think that's having identity crisis issues, you know, throughout their career. But I think you got to find your own voice. Once you find your own voice, then you can start to dabble with, all right, I'm going to borrow this style for this type of song. I want to pay homage with this type of song. But you got to have that foundation of having your own shit in order. You know what I mean? At least that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, funny enough, I mean, I would say Drake did break through that barrier, though. Like, you know, even if he is doing the biting styles and switching it every summer, he's the one person that it's acceptable pretty much from, right? And it's like, yeah, not a big deal. Like Cloud said, he owns up to it, and like, doesn't matter if it's someone younger than him. Like, he just gets, I don't want to say gets the pass in a negative way, but like he did it in such a good way that everybody's fine with it.
Yeah. He'll go as far as to bite somebody's style and then sign them. He'll sign them. I love Mac and then whatever the fuck's name is. We're looking at you. Yeah. Pop man. Party. Yeah. Anyway. That's all I got on this. Any last thoughts on that joint? All right, let's move on, man. What we got here? The Game just said on IG's giving now free versus the independent artists for 50% off. BOGO. He BOGO-ing for verses on y'all that.
Hey, check it out. All independent artists from around the world, I don't care where you from, DM the GOAT, get you a motherfucking murdered out verse, nigga. All right? ASAP. Not playing. Fuck with all the motherfucking weird ass blogs saying all these hating niggas with my name in their mouth saying every day, if you pay for a verse, that bitch getting murdered, you gonna get it back ASAP. And niggas be mad. Niggas don't want to see y'all independent artists. They don't want to see y'all come up. That's why niggas don't never reach down and grab niggas, up and coming artists and independent artists and do shit for them. Niggas want y'all to stay in the mud. You know what I'm saying? I was there. I've been an underground artist. I sold my motherfucking mixtape. I sold my demo. I slept in my car. I did everything I had to do to get on. So me, I'm looking out for independent artists, and I ain't gonna never stop that shit. These other niggas, they don't want to reach down and pull y'all out the mud. They want y'all to stay down there, my nigga. Niggas selfish, but me, I got you. Hit me.
Yo, that was
Show your face,
No, you
Cloud.
don't. No, you don't.
Show your face.
No, you don't. No, you
Red
don't.
rose, white ceiling.
He said they trying to keep you down, but I got you. Like, bro,
But I
no,
got
you
you.
don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, that's so
Everybody
funny.
love you like I love you. You ain't gonna be shit without me, bro. That's some abusive relationship shit.
The fuck is he talking about?
Yo, that's crazy.
That was grimy, bro.
That's
But,
so funny.
That was grimy. That's the Nigerian Prince scamming shit, bro. But you heard what the Game said, right? He's offering discounted verses at the low price of 50% off whatever his normal fee is. Do y'all think and he ain't the only one that's done this. I'm not singling him out. We've heard a lot, you know. We got a lot of people, you know, in the group and stuff like that who may have gotten, you know, inboxes from people about them. But do we think when this type of stuff happens, is it mostly scams, or are these people kind of are truly trying to look out for up and coming artists? What y'all? Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe it's a benefit on both sides, right? If you get a Game verse and maybe you know he also helping you come up. What do y'all think? Is this a mutually beneficial scammy type shit? A lot of people legit want to help out the independent artists. What do y'all think?
I don't think he's looking out for people. I think he's looking out for himself because he's not making. Because keep in mind, here's something that a lot of people don't. They either forgot or they didn't know. He's not making any money off of his catalog.
Not for a minute.
So if he's not making any money off of his catalog, then of course it's gonna make sense for him to, you know, make some side money.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's about $6 million is what he owed that from that lawsuit. So it'd be a minute probably.
They're taking everything until that's paid off. So
yeah, and that's the funny thing. Like, so I'm a Game fan, for better or worse, mind you. I get it. But this is I see him post this kind of stuff all the time. It's not usually a video of himself and like ranting or going on about whatever. So I get why this like made a little more news. But yeah, I've seen him post about like, if you're an underground artist, hit me up, blah blah blah. Like he makes those posts all the time. So this is not even surprising or new. If anything, it's just funny to see him on the video. Like that shit was just funny.
Yeah, I mean, considering what his case is, fuck him forever. But
I know.
Yeah, fuck that guy. But yeah, he's scamming people, bro. He's scamming. There's no other way to put it than he's scamming people, and he's being very like brave about it, to the point of like I got you. They don't got you, but I got you. Like that's crazy. And
I mean, this whole post is blown up, and I've seen nothing but comments about
he scams people.
About bad interactions, bad verses. It's just nothing but it's like you'd have been better off keeping it quiet like he had been than doing all this.
Yeah, but you can't get money like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you have a good product, it sells itself. You know what I mean? Maybe nobody wants a red rose right filling verse. I don't know. You know, do we want that?
That's what you're gonna get from this for sure.
It's also a case by case basis. You know, people are talking about like oh, this is a deal, like, but it's like, bro, dudes at his level, they charge you whatever they want to charge you. Like usual, there is no such thing as a usual feature fee. Like, if they don't want to charge you at all, they won't charge you. Like I say that from experience. Yeah. Like I'm not fucking rich, but
yeah, people work with your budgets. There's all sorts of.
That's why the 50% off was scammy.
Yeah,
the 50% thing was scammy. Like what? That felt very infomercial 2 a.m.ish. You feel me? Like 50%. Why you just don't say independent artists? I'm trying to do verses, blah blah blah. When you start like naming 25% off my normal, like what the fuck is your normal fee, dog? Like what are you talking about? Like what do you normally charge people? And like you said, on this a case by case basis, or maybe it's do a verse for me, I do a verse for you later type of shit, right?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a usual feature fee though. Like unless you're dealing with like a major label, like another signed artist, there's no usual feature fee. They charge if I feel like I want to fucking if I want a meal at PF Chang's tonight and I'm generous, it's like I'll charge you whatever my bill is. Like it's all relative on who you're dealing with. So he's just he's over. Yeah, people will fall for it. There's people who will fall.
That's the second part. If you're an independent artist, is it worth it, you think, in 2025 to pay whatever the price is going to be for a game verse? Yeah.
No. Hell no.
Not for the roll of the dice. You know what I mean? It's like because there's just a chance that you're going to get a verse that somebody else has already gotten. There's too much of a chance for something to go wrong on it. I wouldn't. Not in this situation.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna throw this out there. I could have got a game verse. I could have done a record with him, but for what? It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked, and it wouldn't have been beneficial. So it's like you said, like how what's a game verse gonna do for you in 2025? You know, his best days are far beyond him. So
he's kind of a meme now, bro. This is kind of like furthering the meme status, which is sad because I think he can rap. I think he could have been a very good artist. I think he could have been top 25 in the West, maybe. You know what I mean? If he actually stuck to the music and stuff like that. But I read the article, and that article went crazy, and it was like your antics outweigh your fucking talent at this point, dog. Your antics far outweigh your fucking talent at this point. You know what I mean? To the point where Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if we're talking about top 25 in the West, though, he still might be that though.
I don't know, man. It's hard for me
Top
to.
25. I mean, I don't, like I said, like fuck that guy, but he might still have that.
Nah, it's a lot of good artists out the West, though, bro. Like I think it's such when it comes, but it becomes like kind of tie-ish. I think that's when maybe the antics come into play, right? If it's two people that's kind of close in talent, and one is a piece of shit and one is not, you know what I'm saying? If I'm making a list, you got to go below that motherfucker, right? That's kind of where the tie breaks. And I think if he has a tie, which he probably has a tie with a lot of artists, but then it's like, but you a piece of shit, dog. You know what I mean? That's kind of where it comes into play for me. But yeah, man, I just hate to see that, man. I think, and then not to mention the constant fucking name dropping, dick riding shit, bro. Like that too just really turned me off from like any game shit. Like, why I gotta hear 8 fucking different rappers' name in every fucking bro. If you want Birdman to fucking acknowledge you, just call him, bro. I don't have to hear him. And fucking, why you hollering out Rich Gang and they never acknowledged you as a fucking member of fucking Rich Gang, bro? Like, if 50 called him today, he'd come running like a fucking broad that just got her high school sweetheart back, bro. I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Like, I believe that fully wholeheartedly, bro. So it's like at a certain point, I just wanted Game to hold his own as an artist, bro. And he never, even now, he's salty about the Kendrick shit. You know what I mean? He wanted to be on stage at the fucking pop out, bro. You know what I mean? And they still try to downplay that shit like he didn't get it. You know what I mean? Like you chose a side in that. So Game just been a big disappointment to me. And this just kind of furthers this to me.
Yeah, but do you remember when he knocked out 40 Glock with the phone in his hand?
Yeah, he get 10 cool points for that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
I'll pull up this. This
Game, I'm not usually one to separate like art from artists, and Game is like the hardest one for me. Or like I do usually separate the art from an artist. Sorry, I misspoke. And Game is like that one where it's just like, dude, I was such a big fan, and then that case, and it's just like brutal.
You can't really do that with him though, because his and that's the thing. When you make your art very personal and very like introspective, you don't get that. You don't really get that grace of like people being able to separate the art from the artist, because like when you're that type of artist, you are, you know, as a you're so integrated in your art.
Man, no, absolutely. That's why I kind of tuned out for a couple albums for sure.
And honestly, he didn't, just to play devil's advocate, bro. He didn't even show up to court. Like he could have actually went to court. Pleaded his case, showed he like, yo, this is some reality TV bullshit. Like, I don't know what the fuck he was in his brain where you just didn't even, because it was a civil case. He could have presented his evidence. He could have showed everything or whatever he got. If he thought, personally, if you accuse me of something heinous like that, I'm showing up with fucking all kind of evidence. I'm showing up mad. I'm angry because you assassinating my character. But to take a charge like that and just to discard it, that you don't even show up to court. Now you have a default judgment against you where now you got to fucking sell houses. All your records belong to this girl. You feel me? Everything you do in the future belongs to this person. To not even try to defend yourself says a lot.
I'll ask you what looks worse? Him just not showing up or him going and them pulling out all sorts of evidence that's what I'm
saying. Yeah. Pocket. It's easier to say, no, I was never guilty. I just didn't go. Right. Than it is to be like, no, I was guilty. And they pulled out all the stops to prove it. Right. So
maybe in a criminal case. I think in a civil case, though, I mean, it's not like it was 50 million cameras in there and shit like that. I think in a civil case, you just have to prove that it's more likely than not. You just have 60-40. It's not a beyond a reasonable doubt type of deal. Right. If you got texts, if you got messages, he jocking you or whatever, right? But like you said, maybe he was so fucking guilty that he didn't. So I see y'all point. I agree with that, but that's even worse. You feel me? That just made it
all bad.
Made it very fucking worse. Thank you for putting that thought in my head.
I think he knew it was something that it would have looked bad if he kept it going. But
I agree.
You got a daughter, bro. So
Yeah. And if you know more about his story, there's a bunch of it's bad across the board.
Yeah. Poor guy. All right, game. Get your stuff together, brother. That's all I got, man. Any last thoughts on that joint? All right, let's move on. Shout out to actually a positivity. La Russell. Real quick, indie artists make money. So let's listen. He's dropping jewels right here.
For you, like how much? Because you just said you went on tour, you didn't profit too much. So where's the money really coming from? Is it from the streaming? Where's it really coming from?
Everywhere. I stream about like 6 to 8 million streams a month.
Okay, and
so that could be
platforms?
anywhere between 30 to 50 grand a month on streaming. Bookings every year, I probably get at least like 1 million in bookings. You know, like high 6 figures, 1 million in bookings, and then it's my own shows. I throw my own shows. So like a highly successful show that sold out and didn't have a guest and all that, it's like you get to walk away with like 10, 15. Brand deals are pretty good. Like Crocs, when I did my Crocs deal, they gave me a nice chunk to really just do content. Sync deals could be really high. You can get a high fee, like 10, 20, 30. And you get some, it'll be a huge thing, and they only giving you like a rack, but you know, you get all the exposure from that. Gold cards, I sell gold cards all year. I sell stock in the songs all year. This year was the first year I really did features. There was some day I was in that living room. I'm knocking out 10, 20, 30. And the minimum I was taking was like 500 up to 5,000. So, you know, 20 at just 500 with 10 racks. Merchandise, you know, merchandise is huge. When that shit popping and running, that motherfucker going. Those are like all the avenues that if you're an independent artist, you should be monetizing off these.
Some hustling shit right there. Hustler, man of a hustler.
Did I hear him correctly, or did he say he was with Madlib?
I didn't hear that part.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah. But as far as the kind of the rundown he gave of how he's making his money as an independent artist, you think this is something maybe that can emulate maybe some jewels for these independent artists out here? Is that actually achievable for a lot of artists? What he just relayed, you know, or is he just kind of a unique person in that he hustling his ass off? What do y'all think?
I mean, it's doable, and there's things that he's saying there and that you could take away and apply to yourself. But I would say most underground artists obviously are not on the level of La Russell or near it. So, you know, there's only so much they could do. Not every artist could be out there selling gold cards, which is like a special card to get. It's like a ticket thing to get into the concerts. It's something like that. You'd have to look it up, but most artists can't do that, is my point, and most underground artists. So definitely listen to what La Russell says, take tips, but just know that there's only certain things that can apply to everybody.
I agree. It's almost like,
yeah, it's like you can get up as high as like you're willing to, as much work as you're willing to put in. Like it's very like eat what you kill type of environment nowadays. So if you're just chilling and you're just like focused on like streaming and like trying to get like 1 million streams, that's just not going to go well for you. You know, because that's got to translate into other shit, and if it's not translating into other shit, you're just gonna be able to like say you have 1 million streams, and that's what you're gonna have to show for it.
Well, I think he has a crazy work ethic.
Yeah, absolutely.
On top of that, you know, and apparently, you know, he does this full time at this point. You know, I think he may have had a job at one point. I think I was listening to a story or whatever. But I mean, that's kind of hard for a lot of people who maybe have to work, got some kids to feed or some shit like that, to kind of make that full-time grind like that. You feel me? Team no sleep, so maybe a little bit harder. But I think everybody has to find their own lane to success. You know, what he just described takes a lot of discipline. You feel me? Like you gotta live and breathe the shit like 24/7, 365, right? And a lot of people have real life not saying he don't, but a lot of people have a lot of life to fucking deal with on a daily basis. So I think it's more so kind of finding what works for you. I will say consistency does pay off, right? Like if you have that cumulative effect. And I could say that even from like the other platform. I probably ain't recorded another platform I probably ain't recorded in about a fucking year. And the fucking like downloads I get is like trounces, you know. we still building, but it trounces like oh shit, you feel me? So there's a thing about cumulative effect when you study, have a work ethic, and you study putting out shit that people do go check for shit that's 2 years old and 3 years old and shit like that. People go check for that type of shit, particularly if you're up and coming artist. Somebody might hear some shit you do now and go down your discography, right? Which is more streams and more clicks and stuff like that. So I think that's thing is the work ethic, you know what I'm saying? Like if you look at a lot of the prolific artists or the greatest artists we have, they have crazy work ethic, dog. Like Tupac was dropping fresh verses 10 years after he was dead. That man lived in the studio, right? So you kind of got to make a decision at some point if you're going to pursue music full-time, and if you're going to pursue it full-time, then you kind of got to dedicate yourself to that discipline. And I'm sure Cloud can speak to that. You feel me? That you got to lock the fuck in at a certain point if that's what you're going to do. If it's a hobby for you, that's cool too. If it's something you like to do on the side, something you just enjoy doing, that's cool. But if you're looking to actually live off the shit, then I think LaRussell did give a lot of good tips and hints and stuff that you maybe can incorporate, you know, on your journey. You know what I mean? So I don't know if y'all have anything to follow up on that.
Yeah, work ethic is like that's a big thing that you need. And there's different ways that you can like go about that. Like, I think I said something. Yeah, I said something similar recently in regards to LaRussell about him. He's kind of like similar to the God Fahim in a sense, but Fahim's like more, you know, different style of music.
Right.
But he's like someone who's insanely prolific. Like he has a series where he started last year and he's on number 20. Like it's a mixtape series. He's on number 20. And then he has a whole bunch of other shit. Like he's like he breathes this shit. So there's people like that can make it work. And you know, like I'm just using him as an example. Like he repackages, like he'll take 2 of those tapes and repackage them as like vinyls and sell them. So there's ways to maneuver out here. Like even if you're you know, even if you got like a day job, like you could set up a studio in your home. You know, if you have enough energy when you get off your day job, you know, like record a few, like knock out a few joints. And that shit piles up every day. But I mean, you know, that's case by case because, you know, a lot of people don't have it in them to do more than 2 songs a week. So, which I don't understand, but well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you gotta live that studio life, dog. Lock yourself in that motherfucker. Like if you're not doing anything else, just get your ass in the studio and release shit, man. That's the biggest thing. I think a lot of people have a hurdle where they just, you know, don't release shit. Just put it out there, man. Like if you're an independent artist, put the shit out. You know, you don't need a big rollout or none of that shit. The more shit you put out, the more likely somebody of influence is gonna hear your shit. The more likely you are to gain a fan. Flood the fucking market, bro. What else you got to do? You feel me? Flood the fucking market. At least that's how I feel about it. Any last thoughts on LaRussell and the tips there? All right, if nothing else, this is pretty much gonna play this video real quick and then we'll get ready to get up out of here. We already 2 hours deep in this bitch. But salute to Outkast, man. They recently were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I believe. And I'll play a little bit of the speech that 3 Stacks gave.
Jack said, man, Jack is, man, one thing that Jack said, man, Jack is, man, he's one of my favorites, man. We love you, man. But one thing that he said something about little rooms. And we started in a little,
Alito? What's that gift? What is it?
Little rooms. Great things start in little rooms. That's it.
Long live Uncle Mooney.
Great things start in little rooms. Microphone hanging from the ceiling fan, right? On some J.R. Writer shit. I think that's actually an excellent segue to get ready to get up out of here. What happened, Cloud? You dropped out? I think that's an excellent segue to get up out of here. I think that actually touches what we talked about earlier with the La Russell shit, right? If you love this shit, just put the shit out there. Start somewhere, right? You've got a day job, start somewhere. I think Outkast shows, embodies that whole spirit that if you work hard and you love what you do and you love the product that you put out, man, limits the sky. You know what I'm saying? The sky's the limit or whatever, right? So you can make it. You just got to, work at it. So any thoughts on Outkast? Salute to Outkast too, man. Not enough people get their flowers while they still here. So it's always excellent for us to be able to honor people while they still amongst us. You feel me? And they can feel that energy. Any thoughts? All right. Y'all can hear me, right?
Oh, sorry, my microphone was muted. I said I loved it. I love to see it. It was beautiful, and I just love to see Outkast get their flowers. That's all.
Man, you gotta get a stand for that mic too. You been holding that mic the whole fucking time, dog?
No, dude, no.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
okay.
holding it.
Get your setup going there, brother.
I just got it today. I didn't have time to get the rest of the setup going.
Amazon man just pulled off. What about you, Cloud? Any thoughts on the Outkast induction, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm happy for him. Very well. I thought they were already. I thought they were already in
I would
there.
think so too. I would think so too. But yeah, man, Outkast, dope group, one of our greats, man. One of our greats. I love to see it. All right, man. Let's get ready to get up out of here. Y'all got any sleeper picks? Y'all got anything that y'all been listening to under the radar? Any artists y'all want to plug? I'm not prepared this week.
Yeah, I got one ready. I'm gonna shout out Miko. He's an artist that we dropped a review for earlier this year, and
shout out to Miko, bro.
The song "Tumbleweed" on Eastside Screw Up from his EP that dropped this year is a great song, and I'll put it in the playlist. And everybody should check Miko out. He's a great artist out of Houston.
H-Town. And shout out to Miko, man. He definitely showed us a lot of love on the post. I know he reposted some shit, did very good numbers. So if you're out there and you listen to the episode, brother, yeah, ho for you, homie.
That's right.
What you got there, Cloud?
That we were just talking about Fahim. God Fahim, Nicholas Craven. I mean, I could have just picked anything, but definitely Render Punishment from Hyperbolic Time Chamber 13. And remember, I said there's 20, so, and that's from this year. But yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely that. But they're all dope. So if you're not like familiar with them and you fuck with, if you at least fuck with Nicholas Craven production, definitely check those out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just a major artist this week. I haven't listened to any. I'm unprepared, but I will have somebody for y'all next week. But salute to this. Funny you said that whole like releasing what Don Tripp, I think went like 2 years, an album a month. So he's flooding the market type of shit, right? That sounds like similar, you know what I'm saying? 24 projects in fucking 2 years. That's insane, bro. Full projects. But if you got it in you, go for it. But that's all I got, man. Let's get ready to get up out of here, my good people. So if y'all got anything y'all want to plug to the 117, I'm glad y'all came back, because last week y'all was fucking lacking, man. Y'all motherfuckers was lacking. But I'm glad to see y'all. So make sure y'all subscribe to everybody, man. Follow everybody. Obi, what you been working on, bro?
Oh, let's see. I got a series of rising stars I'm gonna be dropping soon, which is 12 artists. That's kind of people I think are on the come up. I might be doing a producer Rising Stars as well, a little bit of a smaller version. Starting to work on all my awards for the year. It's a little early, but I'm just like starting to piece things together. You know what I mean? And then shout out to the Culture Decides and Lee. Shout out to Star and Rare Rareness, and shout out to Cam and the Men of Order. Right? Did I get that right?
Men of Order
HQ.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
anybody else on the team, they should know. If you send me your stuff, I'll shout anything out. I got nothing but time.
Salute over there working. You on your Lil Russell shit, over. Yeah, take your yeah, ho, brother. J Cloud, what you working on, brother?
Nothing right now. I mean, I'll have something. I'll have something next week, so I'll save it for them. But yeah, just working on music.
That's what's up, bro. Man, we've been yapping, bro. 3 people, 2 hours and 10 minutes. That's fucking insane. That's a lot of motherfucking yapping, dog. So salute to everybody that came through, though, and listen to us, man. We appreciate everybody that come through. Salute to Dre that was out there in the chat, man, dropping some good questions and some good comments on the earlier subjects and shit. Salute all 119 of y'all. Make sure y'all head y'all asses over to the YouTube. Hit a like on there. We get that algorithm cracking. Get to monetization around here so we can provide y'all with the very best hip-hop related media content. You don't have to listen to fucking Vlad, that piece of shit. And that's all I got, man. So I appreciate my panel. I appreciate the team. I appreciate everybody who loves hip-hop and keeps this culture alive, man. Everybody's family as far as I'm concerned, and we live and breathe this shit, and we want to see it shown in a positive light. So that's pretty much our whole goal here at Hip Hop High Society. So that's all I got. On behalf of the team and on behalf of everybody here, I got to say peace.